Hi guys, welcome on board with this new video. This will be a playlist about general IFR flight procedures. Before we get started with actual procedures, we're gonna take a look at what is actually IFR. So IFR stands for Instrument Flight Rules, and it is the big brother or big sister of VFR, Visual Flight Rules. Early in the days, pilots noticed that during bad weather conditions, you could not do flights. And as even very early into the aviation career, they did want to make money with flights, flying commercially. They saw the opportunity to develop a system where you can operate aircraft in low visibility or bad weather. Today, all commercial flights are, of course, operated in according to IFR rules. And the first flight was in 1929, which was operated with IFR rules. It was the first blind takeoff, flight and landing, which occurred at Mitchell Field, Garden City, New York, and piloted by Lieutenant James Doolittle, equipped with specially designed radio and aeronautical instrumentation. And at about 1,000 feet, he just leveled off, made a 180-degree turn to the left, flew several miles, then made another left turn, and the airplane was now properly lined up on the west leg of the Mitchell range. So he started a gradual descent, level off at 200 feet, and flew level until he passed a fan marker on the east of the field. From this point, he flew the plane down to the ground using instrument landing procedure he had developed. The whole flight lasted only 15 minutes, and this was the first IFR flight ever. And the first instrument approach developed by the United States Air Force, developed in the United States beginning in 1937 and deployed by 1946, VOR became the standard air navigation system in the world, used both by commercial and general aviation until satellite navigation system, GPS, took over in the early 21st century. In the 1980s, GPS was first used by civilian use, and airways were before that made up by nav aids. But GPS is today, of course, the primary source of navigation, although VORs, NDBs, and conventional nav aids are still used for navigation close to the aerodrome and instrument flight procedures, departures and arrivals. So if you're going to an airport or if you're departing from an airport, you will still use conventional nav aids developed in the 1940s and 1950s, which is, I think, pretty amazing. All aircraft who do not have a GPS capability or RNAV capability, they will still use conventionally airways with nav aids because they do not have another option. And airways defined by GPS coordinates is now the standard, with even free route airspace without any airways, so point-to-point navigation from departure to destination is now the common use case. But there is still some complicated and interesting IFR procedures in place at every aerodrome around the world, and we will take a proper look at all of those procedures in this playlist. So thank you for watching, and be sure to check out the next video in which we're going to take a look at the QDM and QDR basics of IFR navigation. See you here.